guys, I'm standing outside my shop today because it's a nice day, and I want to show you a alternative tone wood that I'm really excited about. It's called Katalox. A lot of people just pronounce it Katalox, which is how it's spelled, but I believe the appropriate way to say it is Katalox, so I'll go with that. It's also known as Mexican Royal Ebony, which kind of gives away what I'm going to talk about next, which is why it is such a great alternative to ebony. And not just ebony, but also an alternative to rosewood. You can even see, just from its appearance, that it in a lot of ways has an appearance that people come to expect out of fretboards and bridges on guitars, which is this dark, reddish, purplish, sometimes even black or brown color. So in a way it kind of looks like a rosewood, but also I think in a number of ways it really looks like something entirely different and new and exciting, which it is. It has a very interesting look. I especially love the sapwood color and just the sharp differentiation that you get between the heartwood, which is this purplish hued material here, and the sapwood, which is this pale white color. It just looks really sharp having the two together like that. Okay, so how does Katalox stack up to other woods like ebony and rosewood? Let's talk about density first. It is extremely dense. It's actually denser than ebony. It's certainly denser and harder than rosewood, but it's even denser than ebony by a little bit. On the Janka hardness scale, ebony comes up as 3,080 pounds, and this wood tests out at 3,660 pounds. So like I said, it's just a little bit harder than ebony, which means it's going to be about as difficult to work as ebony is. As far as weight goes, this is some seriously heavy stuff. It's heavier than ebony, which, depending on how you look at it, can be a good or a bad thing. 72 pounds compared to ebony's 60 pounds. The wood contains a lot of natural oils, but if you've worked with ebony before, that's nothing new. So you have to take a lot of precautions when gluing. You usually have to clean off glue surfaces, like when you're gluing down the fretboard tongue or the bridge. But again, nothing new if you've worked with ebony before. The trees themselves are large. They grow to be as big as Indian rosewood trees, both in height and in diameter, which is good because that means we can get large enough pieces for backs and sides, as well as fretboards and bridges. So now let's go into the workshop, and I'm going to show you some pieces that I cut up. So I milled out some fretboards, bridges, and head plates from a piece of this earlier today, and that board originally looked like what you see here, and I'm going to kind of show you at least my thought process as far as pulling those materials, the fretboard, the bridge, and the head plate, out of a single piece of board. First, I kind of map everything out, and I'll use different templates and things like this fretboard to trace out and just determine generally where I see a good piece for a fretboard. I'll use my bridge template and then find a bridge, an area of the board where I can get a bridge that will complement that fretboard piece. So that's what I did. I marked all that out, and then I cut this piece off right here so that I can make two fretboards. Flip this over on this side, and from that, got my two fretboards. From there, I found two regions of here where I liked the material for the head plate. So the head plate, of course, will be right at the end of the fretboard, and it's going to continue this design motif from the fretboard out onto the head plate. So I like to pull a head plate from the same wood where I got the fretboard. So I took resawed a thin veneer board like this, passed it through the planer to clean it up, and this will be my 2 head plates. And then from the remaining material is just thick enough that I can still get bridges out of that. So all in all, I've got the material for 2 head plates, 2 fretboards, and 2 bridges, all from the same board. So it would all go together like that, and the color match, the grain match is going to be very close because these pieces were pulled from the same board. And this is just leftover material. I can make more bridges with this. I can't get another fretboard out of this. It's not long enough unless I was making a ukulele or something like that. But there's a million different ways that this excess piece will come to good use later on. You might look at this and think, you know what, I can get 4 fretboards out of this. But then, if I got 4 fretboards out of this, then I wouldn't be able to get the head plates and the bridges, and it would have to source that material from somewhere else, which would mean that the color and the grain match would be just a little bit off. And being a perfectionist as I am, I don't like that. So I just wanted to show you this because this is a neat way to get the color and grain of your design motif that you carry from the head plate through the fretboard and down to the bridge. And this is a way to get that motif to seem seamless across the entire guitar. If this, if the original board here was longer, actually, I would have really liked to continue this sharp line between the sapwood and the heartwood out onto the head plate and even down onto the bridge, but it just wasn't long enough, so I could really only get the fretboards out of that. Now on these longer boards that I showed you outside, like this one right here, that actually wouldn't be a problem. You can see I could take a head plate out of right here, I could grab a fretboard, and then further down here I could pull a bridge out of that. And that, I think, would just look really sharp. So in my next video, I'm going to mill up these longer boards into some fretboards, bridges, and head plates. This time I'm going to take you guys along for the ride so you can see how I use my bandsaw, my table saw, and my planer to make myself some fretboards, head plates, and bridges. If you like what I do, please subscribe to my YouTube channel so you can get more videos like this. Or even better, go to my website, ericschaferguitars.com, and sign up for the email list. With that, you get not only the videos, but also written articles that I publish on a weekly basis. Thanks for watching.